Welcome back to the channel. I am so excited today. This challenge that I'm doing usually scares me, but for today, I am so excited because we're doing it in a whole new way. So, for the next 3 days, it is currently Friday. For Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I am attempting to read for 24 hours. Now, I know that when some people do 24-hour readathons, they just set the timer and it's a full 24 hours. Sometimes people stay up for 24 hours. Sometimes people just allow themselves to go to sleep. I am allowing myself to go to sleep and do anything else that I need to do for life. But I want to actively read for 24 hours. So I'm giving myself 3 days to complete this challenge. It is a bit of a busy weekend for me. My dachshund, Spencer, has been on this channel before. But this weekend, I'm actually dog sitting for his girlfriend, Haley, who's another dachshund. She is a brown dachshund. She is adorable, and they're absolutely adorable together. So it's going to be a bit of a busy weekend, and also Drive to Survive, the Formula One reality show, is coming out this weekend, and me and my fiance are planning to watch as much of it as possible. So is this the best time for a readathon? Probably not, but do I ever time these correctly? No. You may be asking yourself, Diana, how is this different than a regular 24-hour readathon? Just choose some books, read them, have fun. Well, my wonderful mother, she wanted a shout out at this part. So, hi Mom, I know you're watching. Thank you so much for buying this. We were at Barnes & Noble's last weekend, and in it, they had a TBR dice. They had a set of TBR dice. One of them is what we're going to be using today, and it has all different genres on it. And there's a second one in this set that tells you where to get the book from, whether it's a reread, library, TBR, buy a book, so on and so forth. So for this challenge, that's not a roll. For this challenge, we're just using the genre dice, and that's upside down. Oh my god. We're just using the genre dice, and whatever genre it says I have to read, I have to read. Thoughts on these genres? Hi, Spencer. Thank you, buddy. Please focus. I beg of you. Please focus. Oh my god, your nose is making it unfocus. Okay. Historical and classic. I don't typically read. So that's going to be interesting. If those come up. But this is just going to get me out of my comfort zone. Right now, I'm going to do 2 rolls. I need a physical book and an audiobook. And here's just my book of the month box. I did post a short showing you what I got for book of the month, but I figured this was the easiest way to show you, so it is completely fair, and I cannot cheat because we know there are 2 genres on here that I do not like. I got my reading journal with my current TBR. I'm not strictly following my TBR for this video. If it's a genre that I don't really have, I will grab something else from it. I have always wanted to read like a Regency historical fiction, so maybe that will be a thing this weekend. I won't be buying any books. If I get any ebook or audiobook, I'm going to either get from Kindle Unlimited or from Libby. Couple of discoveries. 1, Spencer really likes this and wants to play with it. It is not his, it is mine. And 2, I do have a couple of books that I'm in the middle of, so if I could read those for this challenge, that would be amazing. So, let us begin with the first roll. I got over the Spencer. It's not your toy, it's my toy. Okay, and our first roll is, gonna take it straight out so you can see it. Biography. Now I did forget to say in the beginning, so for biography, thank you, buddy. I'm gonna do just nonfiction, in general, because that just seems the easiest to me. So I actually do have a book to be reading right now for that. That's not the most exciting beginning. Oh well, Dice called it. I gotta read it. Currently, I am reading Forensics, The Anatomy of Crime. That was part of my Can I Read Over 1,000 Pages in 1 week video, where Connor chose my TBR, and the answer apparently was no. So, I will be finishing that today, obviously. Well, I will be finishing that then in this challenge. So that is a physical book. And now I need an audiobook. So let's do another roll. Spencer, you need to calm down. Please be something good. Please be something good. Okay. Truth, it got biography again. We want this to be interesting. I'm re-rolling. Sorry. My challenge. Alright. We got historical. So pretty much this means that none of the ones I actually wanted we got. So I gotta find a historical audiobook. I got a couple of options on my TBR. Let's do some research. We could do some research together. Because I also need to see if Libby has it, because I'm not paying for it. Now this is going to only be from the page by page project, because I absolutely know that I did not buy any historical fiction. Because I don't really like historical fiction. So let's filter this list by historical. We have The Scarlet Letter, Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder, The Vanishing Half, The First 15 Lives of Harry August, The Lost Apothecary, Half Sick of Shadows, Alex and Eliza, Wayward, Circe, and Lessons in Chemistry. Oh, I want to read Lessons in Chemistry. Okay, those are my choices. I will have them showing on the screen. Let me do a little bit, seeing what I could get, and I will be back with the historical that I'm actually reading. That was super easy because Lessons in Chemistry was available on Libby, and I didn't have to look at any other options. Okay, so what I am reading so far is Forensics, and Lessons in Chemistry. Now, what is Lessons in Chemistry? Chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing as an average woman. But it is the early 1960s, and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute take a very unscientific view of equality. Except for one, Calvin Evans, the lonely, brilliant, Nobel Prize-nominated grudge holder, who falls in love with, of all things, her mind. True chemistry results. But like science, life is unpredictable, which is why a few years later, Elizabeth Zott finds herself not only a single mother, but the reluctant star of America's most beloved cooking show, Supper at 6. Elizabeth's unusual approach to cooking proves revolutionary, but as her following grows, not everyone is happy, because as it turns out, Elizabeth Zott isn't just teaching women to cook, she's daring them to change the status quo. I like that. Okay. So, Forensics. I actually need to move my place in this because I've been reading it on my Kindle, but I finished... Did it? Oh, I just finished another chapter. Um, I have never had something like that happen before. I don't know how an entire section of the book just came out. I'm borrowing this book from my fiance, and I know he's read this, and I know this has been read a couple times, so that's interesting. You know, I always wanted to try rebinding a book. Maybe this is my cue. Okay, I have to tell him that his book broke. I'm on page 88. I'm sorry, Connor. I don't know what happened. We can look back at the tapes. Okay, so I'm on page 88, and I'm just gonna carefully close this book. And yeah, so this book is a nonfiction book about forensics and the history of forensic science. What I think is really cool about this book is that it is set in the UK. So typically I studied forensics originally before I switched to chemistry, and I feel like previous things that I have learned and read have mostly followed American cases, and this is following cases from the UK, which I actually haven't heard of, so it's really interesting, and it's just some new information, and I'm really enjoying it. It is a bit of a slow read, but I am a good amount into it. What percent am I into it? Yeah, I'm 28% into it, so I shall put a bit of a pedal to the metal. You know, I will actually continue this, and should be good. I'm excited for that one. And then lessons in chemistry. Now, I have the UK cover because first time I ever been to the UK, the one and only time I've ever been to London, I did like a lot of book shopping. And I specifically was going for this book. Buying this book is not the reason I went to London or the UK. But while I was there, I specifically wanted to buy this book because I love this cover. This cover is so cool. I am a chemist. I'm super excited for this book. The US cover, I know, makes it look like a romance book. And it's not. And the author specifically came out and said that she didn't want it to seem like a romance book because it's not. And I'm just super excited. It's giving me like Julia Child vibes with the description. I'm really interested in this book. I'm super excited. I've been wanting to read this for so long. It's just like not been on a priority list, unfortunately, but you know, this is the perfect time to read it. So I'm actually really glad that I rolled historical because this is gonna be really good. I'm super excited. It's a little cheating because I'm not reading 2 nonfictions at once. I think that is a fair sentence of this challenge where I want variety. So as long as I'm currently reading one, like, so for example, after I finish forensics and I re-roll, if I get another nonfiction biography, then I will pick up another one. That seems fair. But while I'm currently reading a nonfiction, I don't want to be reading the same one. And I'll do that for any genre. So if it was 2 fantasy, I wouldn't do 2 fantasy. 2 romance, wouldn't do 2 romance. Spencer's barking right now. It's going in the video. I'm very sorry. Spence, people are allowed to come home. He's not a big barker, but he seems to always have a bark or 2 while I am filming. Spencer, come say hi. Let them see the little barker. This is Spencer. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Go play. So, I am super excited to start. I am ready to start. So, I'm going to say this challenge begins in 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. Happy Saturday. Where are we at? So, it is currently 5 p.m. on Saturday. Have I read today? A little bit. I have, I think, 21 hours left of this challenge to read tonight and tomorrow. And because of that, I need to switch some things up. First of all, let's discuss what I'm reading. So, Forensics, my nonfiction pick. This book is very, very good, but it is very, very slow. And right now, I am exhausted. So, I have read like another half a chapter of this. I didn't even read a full chapter of this yet because it's just like taking me like 10 years. But I think I need a fiction book to go back and forth with this one, because reading this straight, and this is the only thing I'm reading, is just going to make me fall asleep, unfortunately. And it's not anything about the book, because I am enjoying it. It's just that my brain is just tired, and I need something a little lighter than just pure nonfiction. My audiobook. I have read quite a lot of lessons in chemistry. I think I'm 20% in. And I am really enjoying this one. Here we are following our main character, Elizabeth, as it's in the 1960s, and she is navigating being a woman in STEM in the 1960s, where she's just immediately seen as like a secretary, and she's not respected. She has a lot of reservations about getting married because she doesn't want to suddenly be someone's wife. She wants to be herself. And it's really good so far, and I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, it's making me really want to watch the Netflix, the show. I think it's on Apple TV series. I don't have Apple TV. Maybe I'll get I've never actually gotten a trial for Apple TV, so maybe I'll get a trial for Apple TV to watch this. But I'm really excited, and it is really good. So, I'm very happy with this book, and I have been listening to it a lot. I'm around page like 70 to 80, I think. So, something around there. So, it's really, really good, and I'm really enjoying this. Now, I need a regular fiction book to also read, besides listening to lessons in chemistry on audio. I need like a physical book. So, we're gonna roll the dice again. I got my little box. And yeah, we're just gonna pick another book, and we're gonna go back and forth between this one and the nonfiction. So, let's see what I got. We got classic. You've got to be kidding me. This challenge wants me to sleep. How? I don't think I could read a classic in 24 hours. How did I go from, I want another book besides nonfiction because I want something lighter, and I got a classic. How does that work? Someone explain it, please, because God, this dice hates me. I really got I mean, I know that it's like 50% of genres that I didn't want. But come on. Alright, what are my options for a physical book that is classic? I want something short, is really like what I'm thinking right now. See, if I was smart, I would choose The Scarlet Letter because that is on my 25 and 25. Now, I have read The Scarlet Letter before in high school. Don't really remember it. But I also have Tokyo Express, which is a translated work. And I do really like Japanese translations. I also, if I want to be a little cheaty, I have the yellow wallpaper, which is only 64 pages. And honestly, the edition I have is like 12 pages because the font's so small. I don't think I'm going to do that one, though. I won't be too cheaty. I have the Little Prince, which I also always wanted to read. But the Little Prince, the edition I have is the print is super small, so... But it is a children's book, and it's only 127 pages. Alright, let me go grab those 3 books, and then we will decide. These are our options for classics. I do have more classics, but these are the ones I'm picking. To be specific, I have 10 classics on my shelves. The Little Prince. After crash landing in the Sahara Desert, a pilot encounters a little prince who is visiting Earth from his own planet. Their strange and moving meeting illuminates for the aviator many of life's universal truths as he comes to learn what it means to be human from a child who is not. That sounds good. Tokyo Express. I really like the cover of this one. In a rocky cove, the bodies of a young and beautiful couple are discovered. The flesh in their cheeks suggests cyanide, a lover's suicide. But for shabby local detective Toragai Jotaro and Kichi Mahara, a young gun from Tokyo, something is not quite right. Together they begin to pick at the knot of a meticulously calculated crime involving corruption, scandal, and a fatal train journey. What am I in the mood for? And Scarlet Letter, which I do love the edition that I have. I think it's really pretty, and it has like a bunch of A's in the cover. The Scarlet Letter was her passport into regions where other women dared not tread. Shame, despair, solitude. These had been her teachers, stern and wild ones, and they had made her strong, but taught her much amiss. See, I'm going to go away from this book right now because this font is super small, and I'm trying to get through this classic so I could get to some other books. Maybe I'll just get another classic. So I'm kind of in between these two. Do I want a mystery? Or do I want a children's book? My next book, Tokyo Express. For now, I am gonna chill for a bit and go back and forth between these two. And when I make some progress, I will give you another update. So, quick update. I'm reading Tokyo Express. It's really, really good. I am on page 32. And it's pretty much this book about there's this, right now, it looks like a lover's suicide. And this one detective doesn't believe that it is. There's a couple of things in the case that he doesn't think, that he thinks is really suspicious. So he's the only one currently investigating it. Everyone else is just like chalking it up to this couple just, chose to make a pact, and yeah. So my current plan is I have a little more than 19 hours remaining. A little less than 19 hours remaining, sorry. I'm very tired, but my book is really good right now, so I'm going to continue it. I am switching back and forth, I was switching back and forth between the forensics, but I think that I'm too tired as of now, and I'm just going to read this. And once I get too tired to actually physically read, I do want to do some, straightening up of my apartment tonight. So I'll plug in my audiobook and do that once I get too tired to, physically read. But I'm going strong. I do need, maybe, 2 to 3 more hours tonight just so that tomorrow's not crazy. So we shall see. But so far, I'm really enjoying this. I have a little less than 16 hours remaining, and I have been reading outside at a Starbucks because, it's not really cold, but it's nice enough. I got Spencer with me, and we're chilling. But okay, so this book, absolutely amazing. I'm loving it so much. It's such a cool mystery. What I think is really interesting is that this whole mystery is based on the fact that the train schedule in Japan is so consistent that they can make an entire mystery based around this 4-minute window of train schedules that happens every single day. And honestly, the New York subway system could never. It couldn't. It's absolutely incredible that they're able to make this literally entire book based on this 4-minute consistent window. So I'm enjoying that so much, and I'm really, really glad that I actually did I'm not glad that I rolled a classic, but I am glad that this is a classic that I owned so that I could have read it. Now this. First of all, I have been reading now for, it feels like forever. It's only been 8 hours. How has it only been 8 hours? It's the third day. I'm definitely extending this to Monday and possibly even Tuesday. But, oh my god. I still haven't finished the book. I still haven't finished the book in March. I have 6 books started right now, but I still haven't finished one. Forensics, this is taking me actually 1,000 years. I truly don't know why it's taking me so long. I am halfway through now, and it is just that the material, that it's just a dense book. It's good, and I'm really enjoying it, but it just feels like every time I look at my Kindle on the, like, how long I have left for the whole book, the time's just not moving. But I'm powering through. I still have 16 hours left of this challenge. It's gonna be a couple more days, but honestly, I'm just enjoying it, so I don't really care. It's my challenge anyway. I guess it's a little cheaty that I said 3 days and it's not gonna be 3 days, but I'm actually reading for all this time, so that's something. My audiobook is really good. The nonfiction, that's the historical fiction one. I'll give a better update for that in a little bit, but the classic's really good. The nonfiction, it's good. It's just so much to get through. So I'm gonna stop yapping and get back to reading. I'm gonna read another chapter of Forensics and then switch back to my classic mystery, because I am 50% through this already and I really want to know what happens. It's just like, it's really picking up, so. It has been a little bit. This is Haley. I got Spencer behind her. It's been chaotic. They're gonna end up playing right now. That's great. I have a little over 6 hours left of this challenge. They make a lot of noise when they play. I'm so sorry. Children, can we, like, have 5 minutes? Hey, let's go play. We just went on a walk. So one of them is tired and one of them is not. So that's going to be a great combination. I have a little over 6 hours left of this challenge. For the last 2 days, I have been listening to lessons in chemistry while I've been at work. And I finally finished. And this book is a masterpiece. I love this book so much. I gave it 5 stars. I cannot believe how good it was. I never even actually explained what this book was. How do I explain what this book is without, like, giving, like, major spoilers? So here we have, it's the early 1960s, and our main character, Elizabeth Zott, is a chemist. However, after some situations occur, some situations occur, she very unfairly gets fired, or more like is kind of forced to resign from her position in this lab. Now, being jobless and with a child who she still has to provide for, she ends up a host for a cooking show. I originally thought of this book as kind of like a Julia Child-esque kind of vibe, which is not wrong per se, but I think that this has like also so much more. Julia Child loved to cook. Emily Zott cooks for survival, but she still makes those like very hearty meals that you like get with Julia Child. And she makes everything in her cooking show a lesson in chemistry. She teaches chemistry to the housewives, the house mothers who tune in every day to watch her cook. The show is called Supper at 6, and she ends every episode saying, "Okay, kids, go set the table. Your mother needs a minute." And that just gives these tired housewives a minute to reflect and a minute to be with people who understand them as well. And she really speaks to this new audience who she's not treating them like how the network wants her to treat these women as dumb and as, women. But she treats them like humans. She speaks to them like she would anyone else. It doesn't matter that they are a woman, they can understand what she's saying. And it truly is such a good book, and I just loved it so much. I really want to watch the series that was created for this book. I usually don't care about the series after I read a book, the TV series after I read a book, but I'm really interested because I think that who's in it? It's Brie Larson, and I think she would be like a perfect Elizabeth Zott. So I'm really excited to watch that. And this book absolutely is 5 stars. It was phenomenal, and I couldn't stop listening to it. So I am, as much as I was apprehensive about the historical fiction at first, this is the fun part about just like rolling a dice to decide what you're gonna read. You get to read stuff that you don't normally read. I haven't picked this book up because it is historical fiction, but the historical fiction aspect of it is pretty much what I love most about it. And I mean, it took me a bit longer to read because it's not a genre that I'm used to, but I truly am just loving. I loved it so much, and I'm so glad that this challenge made me read it. Now, for the rest of my night, I plan to hopefully finish Tokyo Express. I think for this video, so it's going to be 24 hours. I have 6 hours left. I have 3-ish hours left, a predicted 3 hours left of my forensics book. And then this is probably going to take me another hour and a half to read. I have another like 80-ish pages. I think what my plan is that I'm going to finish these 2 books, and that's going to be challenge complete. That's going to be challenge success. So 3 books after I finish these 2, then challenge complete. We have, the dice has decided my books for a total of 24 hours. So that's how I'm going to play it. I don't want to start a new book with like only an hour left. I'm not going to be able to finish it, and I have so many others that I'm currently reading. So I think that's a fair assessment. I also had like an hour left of the last one because of the same thing. And yeah, I'm really, really excited about what I'm reading. These are all books that I necessarily wouldn't have just picked up on a random day, but I am really enjoying them. So I will catch in with you as I finish this one. It has been a while. I don't know why for both 24-hour readathons now, filming just the very last bit doesn't always happen. It doesn't always happen in a timely manner, I should say. But I'm back. I have survived a reading slump. I'm still in a reading slump, but I'm getting out of it. Actively working on getting out of a reading slump. Everything before this was filmed in March. It is now May. I did finish all these books in March. But these books were like the start of me getting into a reading slump. So this video just never got finished, but I am really happy with the books that I did read. So I wanted to share them, and I still wanted to post this video even though it is 2 months late. um, I finished 3 books in this challenge. I already talked about lessons in chemistry. This book got 5 stars. This book was actually my favorite book in March. And I read 2 others. So let's go through these and see what I managed to remember of them in all this time. That is the great reason to have a reading journal, because I write down all my reviews. And I loved lessons in chemistry so much that I even made an entire spread for it. And I just love it so much. My favorite quote from it: whenever you start doubting yourself, whenever you feel afraid, just remember, courage is the root of change, and change is what we're chemically designed to do. So when you wake up tomorrow, make this pledge: no more holding yourself back, no more subscribing to others' opinions of what you can and cannot achieve, and no more allowing anyone to pigeonhole you into useless categories of sex, race, economic status, and religion. Do not allow your talents to lie dormant, ladies. Design your own future. When you go home today, ask yourself what you will change, and then get started. And I just love this book so much. It truly, I think my favorite part of this challenge was that it actually made me read this book and go out of my comfort zone. And I think that's the thing about the page by page challenge in general, is that these books that I've had that I've been sitting on them because part of me has been scared to even try them. But that's crazy, because if it doesn't work, I could always DNF it. But this really just got me out of my comfort zone, and I definitely will be doing more videos with the TBR dice and just randomly picking genres, because this was really, really fun to do. Okay, so the next book that I finished for this challenge was Tokyo Express. And let me read my review, because I don't remember what my thoughts were. I remember. Okay, so this book followed a murder mystery based around Japanese train timetables. So Japanese trains are so consistent that they were able to pinpoint exact locations of people based on the very consistent schedule of the train, and that way they were able to solve the murder. Now, my issue with this book, it was very underwhelming. I noticed this as well with I've only read one one Agatha Christie book, but I ended up DNFing it because I've noticed that with classical mysteries compared to modern mysteries, it's a lot more telling rather than showing. It kind of just feels like the detectives are just saying every thought, and every thought is suddenly this magical guess of that they're getting it right. And what I don't like is that it feels like they're not actually showing how the murder happened or how the mystery unfolded. It's just telling us step by step. Overall, I thought it was a really cool concept. And as far as classics go, this I did actually read very quickly. It is a small book, but I did read it very quickly, and I do still love translated works. I love being able to read books by authors from around the globe, but for me, this one just fell a little short. And it could have been, I do notice this a bit with just like older books, and it could just be that I'm just used to more modern tales and modern writing, but this one is still pretty good. It was a really interesting concept, and I would recommend it, but it just fell a little flat to me towards the end mostly. So to give this 3 stars. And I still think this is such a beautiful cover, and it was still really fun to read, but I wish things went a little different overall. Last but definitely not least, last and maybe least, Forensics by Val McDermid. This is Forensics: The Anatomy of Crime. This is, as you've seen in a previous clip, the book that fell apart in my hands which I still don't understand how that happened, but I digress. This book was very interesting. It's also extremely slow. I do not give star ratings for nonfiction books because I do not know how to rate nonfiction books. Don't read enough of them. And this book really just showed me that I would not have lasted if I stayed in a forensics degree and if I had to then get a master's in forensics. I think forensics is extremely interesting, but this had so much information and so many cases that it just got really slow. And I am glad that it was part of a challenge because I honestly don't think I would have finished it otherwise. But I really don't think nonfiction books are for me. Honestly, even just like textbook type reading, is not for me. Text like just informational dense reading. I do enjoy like memoirs. So I know that is nonfiction as well, but I do enjoy like listening to mostly audiobook memoirs, but listening to people's life stories is really interesting to me. An entire book with just facts. I think that it might not be my thing right now as I am working towards a PhD and am deep into academia. Maybe once I'm out of academia and have like some more room to breathe away from like just constant learning, then I'll gravitate a little bit towards nonfiction books. But at this current moment, it's just not my cup of tea. And that's okay. I still enjoyed it. I still really loved learning about it. It just was too slow for me. And I read to escape, and escape does not work in nonfiction for me. So, I got these 3 books from my random dice. We had a historical fiction, a nonfiction, and a classic. My 3 least read and least favorite genres. It did end up with one of my new favorite books, so that's amazing. And really brought me out of my comfort zone and gave me a really nice variety. So very grateful for that. And I did really love this. I did really love this challenge. I would like to do this challenge again and maybe get, some fantasy and sci-fi, or the romance, or the mystery. Pretty much anything other than the 3 categories that I got for this challenge. But alas, that is another episode of the Page by Page Project, and we are slowly working down my seemingly endless physical TBR. Thank you so much for watching. If you are watching up until this point, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of those YouTube things. My last video was with Connor by himself reviewing Game of Thrones, and he has been reading so much lately and is so excited to do so many more videos for you. So you're going to be seeing both of us on this channel a lot more. I am getting out of this reading slump. I am working my way towards actually completing a book. And I will keep you all updated on that journey. My next video will probably be just me attempting to finish a book because it is such a slow process right now. But alas, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.